Cold coffee, my old boots are by the door. Nobody's calling, but I don't mind it anymore. 'Cause I've had enough of the rat race.
So where are we? We're in Delta, Utah. It's just kind of a little ranch and farming town. Nothing special unless you happen to need gasoline or groceries. And we're on our way to Lake Tahoe, and from there, Adventure Van Expo at North Lake Tahoe, near North Lake Tahoe. And then we're going to go on a big journey up through the Northern Sierras. I got lots of treats to show you. That'll be a different video. But this is going to be one for the world's loneliest highway, US 50, going across Nevada. But it really starts getting lonely here in Delta, because after Delta, there's not much out there. I mean, Ely has got some services, and sometimes the other little towns have sort of services for maybe a place to eat. That's it. There's a few of those, Eureka, Austin, and then you get to Fallon, and then it's back to this kind of town that's sort of spread out and not particularly interesting. But then we'll go on to Carson City and Lake Tahoe, and of course that's all very nice. So we're going to show you the world's loneliest highway. We're traveling it on this trip from Grand Junction to Tahoe, and then from Reno we'll be coming back through on Highway 50 here, and we'll probably do some more shooting. So it's going to be going both directions sort of video. It's going to be kind of weird to put together, but it's interesting out here, and that's kind of like the best way to describe it. Well, it's interesting out here. We've got this dry alkaline lake bed to the left, pretty common in the Great Basin, and we have a long straight road. And fortunately, they just paved it, so this is nice. It's a nice improvement. We're going to be in that mountain range fairly soon, and then the scenery gets much better. And that happens as we cross through mountain range after mountain range after mountain range. This area, the Great Basin, has 300 mountain ranges, maybe more, because that's just 300 in Nevada. Here we're in Utah. So after a long, straight, tedious crossing of a huge valley, which is a common attribute of this highway, we're finally getting up into something interesting. And that's the cool thing about crossing all these mountain ranges, is that these passes are usually pretty interesting. So now we're going to do the cool part. It goes through like a gorge. So I think this rock is all basalt. There's quite a bit of that out here. Basalt to lava rock, one form of lava rock. So we're going to drop over this, we're going to go over the pass, and then drop into the valley where the Nevada state line is, and Great Basin National Park. And as far as wildlife, I don't think I've ever seen anything out here. Maybe the regulars do, but I don't recall ever seeing anything. There's just no water. One of the many passes we got to cross to get over towards Tahoe. Summit, 6,200 feet. Okay, see the mountains ahead of us? That's Great Basin National Park. And for the most part, it just kind of looks like all the other mountain ranges out here, except Wheeler Peak, that tallest one, is a bit taller than the rest. I think at 13,000 or something close to that. common sight. The road goes straight a long ways. And there's a little alkaline lake off to the left. There's no water left in it. Once in a while they'll flood a little. Yes, this can be tedious out here. Quite tedious. But the excitement's coming up. And that is Great Basin National Park, the old mining towns. There's hot springs. There's even petroglyphs, if you're into looking at those. There's a lot of different little things out here, ghost towns, that makes it interesting. It's just there's a lot of distance, now like this, right now, between the interesting parts. That's just the way it is. But then again, if you kind of want to be away from people, it doesn't get much better than this. Okay, so this is the state line going into Nevada. And we're going to pull in here. We don't need gas, but you certainly want to get gas if you even begin to think you need it. But Ely's like 60 miles more, so, and there's many gas stations there. That's the better place to get gas. But there is a little restaurant bar here, and I'd like to show it to Katya.
Tedious, no?
If I can find a place to park. How about this?
That's cool.
Okay, it's, you know, it's a small place. It's kind of a hick place. But we're in Nevada now, so they have gambling. So now we've just crossed into Nevada, and we have gambling. Hey, welcome to Nevada.
Welcome to Nevada.
Baker, the gateway to Great Basin National Monument or National Park. Sorry, we just got a lunch, and it was like being in Appalachia or something. It was quite something experience. Anyway, we're going to turn around and go back up there. I just thought we'd never seen Baker, Nevada before. We've seen Baker, California many times. Straggler Inn, general store, groceries. And this is the other side of town already.
That's it.
This is Baker.
But they do have, looks like, high-end restaurant, Salt something.
Yeah, she told me that Salt and Sugar whatever restaurant was not as good as where we ate.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Okay, we're heading up. Let's see what happens. But ahead of us, you see that big pointy one, or the one behind it, one or the other. I think probably the one behind it is Wheeler. It's a long ways up here. A long ways. We are crawling up this thing. Well, not too crawling. It's 30 miles an hour, 35 sometimes. But it's a long drive up here on the scenic route. Okay, we're at 10,000 feet. So we only have 1,000 feet more to go. Yikes. We do have fall colors up here. So when we're back out of the sun, we'll show you that. Well, okay, now you see something. Okay, that's amazing. Hopefully through the windshield it's not bad. But yeah, this is beautiful. Seriously, beautiful. Love you. Yeah, so we're going up into this big cirque. And cirque is a glacial term where there was a snowfield that sprouted glaciers down the canyon, or a glacier down the canyon. What? They want us to go 15? Oh, we're entering the campground area. So whatever this is like, but what does it show for elevation here? Oh, come on. 9,976 feet. So, okay, I thought we were going to be at 11, but I thought we already passed 10,000 feet.
That was the sign.
That was the sign back there. So we have to find campsite number 9. That's 3. And we paid on recreation.gov. And
5,
we
6.
can't go to the right, which is fine because we don't want to go to the right. We want to go straight ahead to number 9.
I see number 9.
And here's number 9. Everybody got that? We're at number 9. So it's not quite level, but we don't care because we built our van so that we don't care. But kind of pretty, huh? Good morning, Overlanders. We had a great night last night. The campground was really, really nice, especially the fall colors. It's really beautiful. We could see Wheeler Peak from the van, and that was particularly nice. So now we're heading down, and we're going to be heading west, right, soon. Wheeler Peak in the morning. It is so beautiful here. So terrific up here, and I'm in shirt sleeves at like 8 o'clock in the morning in mid-September. That's pretty cool. Big view out there. Big desert, big mountains. Well, we've dropped 1,000 feet so far, and we've been driving quite a while. It goes down and down and down. But look at that view out there. Big, big desert. Oh, and there's a lot of switchbacks, which makes this pretty fun. Makes it hard to hold my coffee. So this is the Lehman Cave Visitor Center. And we don't have time to do the caves. I think it requires a tour. So this guy's not particularly interested in yielding right away or stopping. Colorado. There's some Fruita. That happens a lot in Fruita. Anyway, there's caves here to explore, and I'm pretty sure it's a tour thing you have to go on. And we just don't have time for the tour. Wow, there's oncoming traffic. This is weird. Anyway, cattle and horses out here. There's some water here and there. And of course, people are ranching or farming it. But not a lot of that. Okay, so we've left Great Basin National Park. Probably the only national park that doesn't have a welcome to the national park sign at the boundary. It just doesn't. And we're heading towards Ely, where we're going to fuel up. Wash the windshield, of course, because got to get the bugs off.
Get more coffee.
Katya wants more coffee? Okay. Sacramento Summit. So we came up a canyon, over another mountain pass, down into another broad valley. If you collect mountain passes for a hobby, this road is great for that. So another dead settlement here. Probably a restaurant or something at one time. But nothing's been happening there for a long time. So we're climbing up again. Oh, and by the way, if your vehicle needs to chain up in the wintertime to go over these snowy passes, then you're going to be chaining up and unchaining a lot. Wow, traffic jam. That's weird. It's like a parade. That's really weird. Look at all these vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's construction and they held everybody up.
Probably.
Yeah, and then they're coming through like this, because this is not what happens out here. Which means we're going to get stuck in something like that somewhere, going the other direction. Anyway, quite a climb here. Gunner's Pass, 7,700 feet. Well, we're on final approach to Ely, which is way off in the distance to the left there a little bit. So it's a little lake on the left, and we're crossing over a stream. So the rare water out here. Okay, we've discovered what was blocking traffic, and that is there's a very, very large wide load on a big truck ahead of us with police escort. And I really hope that he takes Highway 6 to the south here in Ely and doesn't continue on 50, because otherwise we got to deal with this. So we pull into Love's. It looks like they're going to take Highway 6 towards Topenaugh, and we'll be freed up on Highway 50. So we're going to get gas, do a few things. So this is downtown Ely, and this construction's been going on for quite a while. It was, I was here 5 months ago or something, and it was all about the same. Takes a while to get anything done, I guess. But they do have casinos, they got hotels, some historic stuff. On the right here is an Italian restaurant that I like in this casino. A little early for lunch, so we're not stopping there. But anyway, this is the biggest town out here on the Loneliest Highway, part of 50. There's a lot of vacant buildings, a lot of businesses are gone compared to what there was, for whatever reason. But this was an old, I think, gold and silver mining town. So as we get up here a ways, up this canyon, I think we're going to see some mining activity, or where there was mining activity. And I like this canyon. It's just kind of a cool place. Lots of rocks. Okay, off to the left you can see the mining activity up there in the distance. There's a little bit here on the right. And an old train track, which looks like it's still maintained, which is unusual. Okay, another pass, Robinson Pass. This one's kind of boring. What a surprise, another broad valley and a straight road across it. There's a beauty out here, but you know, you've got to get in the right mental attitude for it. Another summit, and there's also a sign there. That was the Elkhorn summit. There's a sign there that says Pony Express route. So parts of Highway 50 out here were Pony Express route, and we'll be stopping near one of the stations later on. So there are people who go out here and try to follow the original Pony Express route in vehicles, Jeeps basically, because it can be pretty rough in places, is my understanding. I never cared enough about that to do it. Anyway, it's something to do if you're looking for something to do out here. The Pony Express only lasted like a year and a half, and that's a big part of Western history. It's getting the mail from, I think, St. Louis to San Francisco, Sacramento, something like that. Probably Sacramento. You know, sometimes I think parts of this this Highway 50 is maybe kind of boring, but and then I think about the folks who cross over through Kansas and Nebraska and all that flat terrain out there. And this is probably pretty nice looking compared to that. So yeah, this is sort of a fun little canyon here. And these are the little treats along the way that I really enjoy. Just there's a lot more traffic out here than usual. Probably because the weather's cool. It's like 70 degrees and it's the prime time to be out here. Yes, another straight road across a big, long, wide valley and another mountain range ahead of us. What a surprise. And another pass.
Pancake Summit.
Pancake Summit. Well, there's nobody serving pancakes on this pass. Now, as we get close to Eureka, another pass. Pinto Summit. The historic mining town of Eureka. Hotels, saloon, cafe, old courthouse, cool old buildings. The Owl Club Bar and Restaurant or Bar and Steakhouse is supposed to be good food. Never tried it, and we're too early for lunch. And the usual abandoned buildings. So we're climbing up through another mountain range. Each one of these is a bit different. So it doesn't really get tedious. The vast sagebrush sea in all directions, along with mountain ranges, of course. There's just nothing out here. We passed a little bit of water beside the road, a little bit of a creek or something there. There's some cattle and sort of a little ranch sort of set up. But mostly, there's just nothing out here. So I can't imagine being on the Pony Express and like just running along out here for hours and days on a horse. They're pretty desperate to get the mail across the country. So what killed the Pony Express was the railroad, the first transcontinental railroad. So they've got some petroglyphs out here, a little recreation area or something over there. I've never been up to them. I saw some photos, you know, pretty small site, but we see a lot of those all over the Southwest, so kind of don't go chasing them down much. So another pass. This is Hickinson Summit. And surprisingly enough, there is another broad valley on the other side. Who would have guessed? Another big mountain range ahead of us. Boy, that farthest peak looks tall. And we get a little construction going on here. Nice to see they're actively maintaining the road. By the way, most of this trip, you just do it on cruise control. You don't, except in the towns and a few places and some narrow passes, you just don't need to put your foot on the gas. Just set it at whatever, and about 70 miles an hour in Nevada usually, and go. Okay, the thing out here at Spencer is to find the best tub. And I think I know where it's at. So we're just going to go over here to this tub. And it's really nice that other people aren't, camping here. Okay, let's see if this is it. No, this isn't it. The other tub is the other side of these bushes, I think.
Well, somebody's here.
Oh yeah, somebody's here. Okay, we're here.
The water is running.
That's enough. Good afternoon, Overlanders. We are in a hot spring. Now, this is the best tub here. Everything else is not so good. Come on, Jim, get that straightened out. There we go.
This is shallow and hot.
So that water coming in, guy just told us is 130 degrees. That is a little toasty for us. But, we're in here. And it's warm. It's taking, getting slow. And it's warm, but it's out here in this broad valley, which is so typical of Nevada. Great place. And I'm slowly getting down in. Now we got here, there was a couple who were cleaning it out and scraping the sides. So, okay, smile, Jim, you're on camera. You're doing YouTube, you have to be brave. Anyway, the water is a little bit
muddy,
kind of, mossy, floating around, because he was scraping the sides and cleaning it up for us all. And that's a great public service, and really appreciate it, because these things do moss up pretty fast. What a place, huh?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we're at AWD National Forest. There's a campground here, but it's been closed for a while, and it still is closed. On the left, there's dispersed camping a little. Anyway, another pass, huh? So now we're going to be dropping down. I don't think this one drops into Austin. Can't quite remember now. Well, we got some fall colors on this pass. A little grove of aspen over there, and a little higher up there's more aspen. Just starting to turn color, just starting to turn yellow. Austin Summit, almost 7,500 feet elevation. So it's been a pretty steep climb up here, steeper than most of these passes. And now it's going to be quite a drop. Down into Austin, where Katya wants to have lunch. Okay, let's drop into the manual gears here. Big views out there, of course. Okay, we're getting done with the steep drop into Austin. They are trying to do mountain bike activities here, but not sure how that's working out for them. It's pretty isolated. Okay, they destroyed that building. Most of these buildings just kind of destroy themselves. It's somewhat of a trashy little town, but kind of quaint. I like it. But then again, I have this thing for old mining towns. Okay, you're going to be looking for the restaurant.
Owl place, yeah.
Okay, that restaurant's dead and has been for years. That place is abandoned. Got a courthouse, medical clinic, fire station, and a lot of abandoned places. Okay, this is
Pizza Owl, so we're parking on the right side.
Okay.
Karaoke.
Out on the street. So we think, you know, there's a business opportunity there, folks. So we understand from a very recent Yelp review that this place is closed now. That some couple bought it and it's closed. But I've been in it before and it looks like an open door down there. So kind of a collection. Here's the bar. So this Silver State Cafe looks very closed. There's no signs, but yeah, look inside. It looks pretty cool. But actually, everything along here seems pretty closed. Wow, what a nice van. So the signs are here, but typical of these old towns like this, there just isn't much business. Kind of cool. So now, crossing over for lunch in the Owl Club.
That sounds good.
Nevada's oldest bank building, and that was a long time ago. The saloon looks pretty dead. So the Owl bar there, that was, yeah, look it up there, something. The Owl bar was, it was kind of nice. It was certainly a, you know, a hick experience. It's pretty funny in there. But here's a bunch of old buildings, and it doesn't look like anything is open. Maybe there's an antique store, but mostly it's just a quiet little town. And here's old buildings up there. There's even a park and a welcome center. Cool. So Owl Club doesn't have pizza anymore. He just opened, he said. So I guess he just bought it, inherited it, something. But that's the other end of town way down there. So we're just outside of Austin, Nevada. And there is this strange castle thing. Stokes Castle. And this guy I guess he was an executive and maybe even owner of railroads and mines and so forth. He built this in the late 1800s as sort of a house. And, you know, I can't imagine wanting to live in this thing. But he did for, you know, a short time. And then he sold his mine here and left the area. So it fell into disuse. Once they lose the roof, it's kind of hard to, you know, get it, the structure to hold up. But mostly it's holding up pretty well, and the locals are trying to keep it here, of course, as an attraction. But it's a weird thing. Stokes Castle, if you want to look it up online, if you want more of the details. But yeah, pretty strange, eh? I wouldn't want to live in that thing. So it'd be fun to show you the inside, but you know, I don't think I'd want to go in there. There's a fireplace in there, fireplace on every floor. Second floor was bedrooms, third floor was bedrooms, and but you know, check out this view. So this is a huge view down this valley, and then there's some mining equipment right here. So this is probably the mine that he owned. Okay, just pulling out of Austin here a bit. Katya, what are your thoughts on visiting Austin?
Austin is a funky little place with two cafes. One of them that advertise pizza, but when you come in, they only serve hot dogs, French fries, and little egg rolls. They're almost like lumpia, Filipino lumpias, and the thrift store. So I got myself a set of copper cookware for $10. That was the score of town, and they only take cash, so we were able to pay with PayPal. PayPal was sophisticated here.
Yeah, PayPal's high end. Yeah, it's a cute little town. You know, it's like there's a lot to like about it, but it's very tiny and mostly abandoned, like most mining towns. So if you're looking for, you know, an interesting place to retire, this would be interesting. The locals are colorful. So now we're heading out towards Fallon, Nevada, and that's pretty much the end of, you know, the Lonely Road part. It's just Highway 50 from there. It's got, you know, something always going on all the way through South Lake Tahoe and to San Francisco. We're seeing a lot of vans, so this is high time for traveling out here, and there's been a lot of vans. So way down that valley, looking south, is Berlin-Ichthyosaur State Park. They found an ichthyosaur, or however you pronounce that. And that was a large sea creature with big jaws and teeth. So pretty significant find. Nevada's not really known for its dinosaurs. I think it was underwater with California there for a lot of that period of time. But it's out here, so it's quite a way south, like 55 miles down that valley or something. So it's not something we can go to today, but maybe sometime. And in case you're keeping track, another pass. Which one is this? Mount Airy Summit. Okay. Sounds good. And of course, more mountain ranges with big valleys between them. New Pass Summit. Another pass.
The city life, the social grace, burnt out on confidence, so tired of keeping score. Gonna find somewhere to slow it down, buy a little place way out of town. Gonna take my time, 'cause it's all mine. Trade my pride for a quiet life. Maybe then my time will come around, way out of town. Down in the hills I'll fold Topanga Road. There's a place I go to ease a weary soul. I could hide away above the sea, smoke my stuff, talk to the trees, get myself a dog and build a heart of gold. Gonna find somewhere to slow it down.
So this is Cold Springs, and years ago I stopped in there to get some food. It was closed. Doesn't look very open now. There's a restaurant. There was a restaurant. It still looks like an RV park. But somewhere around here is the remains of a Pony Express station. But all of those are just piles of rocks. But just up here a little ways, we're going to go into a little, I guess, monument or something to the Pony Express. And I'll give you a little background there. What's he doing out? He's stuck. That guy's car is stuck in a ditch. What the hell is it? It's off the pad there quite a ways. Stuck in a ditch. Anyway, this is I don't know if Cold Springs Pony Express station itself was here. So this discusses the history of it. I'm sure all this is online. But the relay stations were like 10 to 35 miles apart, and they were out in like really desolate places like this. It's probably out there someplace. There's a trail going out there. There's no sign. Anyway, more about Cold Springs Station specifically, but it was a little rock cabin with 2 people and no particular furnishings, hardly anything they had. It was pretty tough, and once in a while the Native Americans came through and killed the guys manning these stations. So they had gun ports to try to defend themselves, corral, of course, for the spare horses that the Pony Express guys would drop off and get on the fresh horse and take off to deliver the mail to Sacramento. And yeah, all of these are just piles of rocks out there. But for us, what's really interesting is Captain Sir Richard Burton visited here. And if you've ever seen a movie like Mountains of the Moon or anything, this guy spoke 40 different languages and dialects. He was in the British India Company, and he was Britain's ambassador to Brazil for a while. He has a huge, huge history. And we're big fans of this great explorer from the 1850s, 40s, 50s, 60s, right in there. So anyway, there's a huge history there. Mountains of the Moon. There's a variety of other books about him. Okay, that's the same as the one on the other side. I don't know what, if there's supposed to be something in here of significance, but it sure doesn't look like it. So all they do is tell us, there's the ruins are somewhere out here. but who knows? There's a lot of vast expanse out here.
Sir Richard Burton.
Yeah, right. Captain Sir Richard Burton. A great hero. So also Captain Sir Richard Burton was credited with the finding of the headwaters of the Nile River. Although his buddy Specky probably did it. Nobody really knows for sure what happened out there in the middle of Africa. Another Nevada dry lake bed. You don't want to go out there after it's rain and it's wet, because you get stuck. Okay, we're stopping here at Sand Springs Pass for the sole reason of opening up your door and getting rid of this fly who's driving us nuts. Do you see him anywhere?
No.
He's like everywhere until we stop. Okay. Maybe he's back in the back somewhere. But yeah, landing on our noses, all of this sort of thing. So, they have this pass to add to our inventory, plus we went over another one that really wasn't much of a pass, but they called it a pass, and I didn't shoot it. Because it's more fun to go over real passes than sort of passes. But the mountain ranges are getting lower, the passes are getting broader and lower also in elevation. Less climbing as we're headed towards the Sierras. Kind of a big view down there. Another dry lake bed. So probably everybody knows what mirages are. That's where it looks like there's water in the lake. So I've seen some pretty good mirages here. Don't know if we're going to see it today. It doesn't look like it. Don't have the right conditions. So we opened the door to try to get rid of one fly. We ended up with 2 flies. And now Katya just informed me she killed one. So now we're down to 1 fly. They get really annoying when they're going along at 70 miles an hour. Yeah, all the excitement of a dry lake bed out here. You can see where people get stuck once in a while. Kind of entertaining. So as we approach Fallon and kind of the end of America's loneliest highway, you start seeing ranch houses, things like that, more civilization. There's a naval air station. So it's not that really remote here as it was behind us. Okay, we just entered Fallon, and that's the end of this story.
Fallon City Square.
By a little place way out of town.